Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's me Karen Frost at Nail Decadence, and in this video we are going to be using some Builder in a bottle from SBD London. The bottles I was showing you are the colours that I'll be using. So first thing I will do is apply a thin layer of base coat. I forgot to show that that's what I was using. It's the rubber base coat that I'm putting on, that you can see me putting on the hand dolly right now. And if you are after a practice hand, I highly recommend the hand dolly. You can get one from www.handdolly.co.uk and you can use code KFGIFT for 10% off your order, and that's my affiliate code, so please feel free to use that if you would like. So now that I have cured that base coat layer, I'm using the French pink to build my extended nail bed area, and as you can see I'm just using the brush from the bottle to apply that gel where I want it, and I'm keeping contact with the gel and teasing it to where I'd like it to go. Turn the hand upside down to help gravity do its thing to pull the gel into the middle, and then I'll flash cure that so that it doesn't move. And if I need to apply some more I will, which I am doing now to build up that, because I'm going to file in the nail beds, so I want to make sure I've got a nice wall to build it up to. And I am also building my apex in this as well, because obviously the Builder in a Bottle French pink is a strength colour, so I can build the apex and structure of the nail with that colour, so that is what I'm doing. Therefore I won't be capping this area at all, so it's all being built in as is. So I flash cured that little finger the way that once I got it as high as I wanted it to go, and onto the ring finger, and I'm doing the same on all the nails, building an extended nail bed. So you'll see what I do with the brush. I just tease the gel into place, and if any gets anywhere that I don't want it to go, I just use a small cleanup brush and remove it. Sometimes it goes well and sometimes it doesn't, so yeah, you just gotta roll with it. I don't like to play with it for too long because it's a gel, so it moves. Although it's a thick gel, it does move, so because it's self-leveling it can flood the cuticle and sidewall areas and run, so you do want to work quite quickly with it. So you'll see that if it runs too far and I pull it back in place with my cleanup brush and I turn the hand over to try and control it, sometimes it's best to just get it in the lamp and then file it into shape afterwards and not worry about it too much, because the more you play with it the more it's going to run in other places. So yeah, just try and work quickly, we'll say. Take the brush out of the bottle, apply a small amount to the nail bed area, and then use the brush to tease off more of the product to apply it onto the nail. And again, you'll see I turn the hand over to let gravity pull the apex to where I want it to be. I think this is the nail that gave me a bit of trouble. Yeah, I faffed around with this nail a bit too long, so you can see the gel is starting to run further down than I'd like it to go. So flash cure that in place, stop playing with it, just flash cure it and sort it out later. I haven't worked with gel for so long, you kind of forget. It's not, well yeah, you do, you kind of forget what you're doing off, because you've got to work fast with gel. You really do. And don't faff around with it too much. And I am a faffer. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know what I'm like. I faff. That's what I do. So I'm only doing the 4 fingers, so not bothering to do the thumb on this video. So same again. get a nice bead from the bottle, apply a thin layer, and then tease off more of it off the brush onto the nail bed area, and build up my apex and extend that nail bed down further down the nail itself. God, I'm having trouble talking today and thinking. I'm on quite a bit of morphine, I will say, from my hands and my feet being so swollen. Yeah, I am on a lot of medication to help with the pain. It's not very nice at all, I will say. Anywho, such is life. So again, clean up brush, trying to tidy up that area a little bit, and then turn the hand over, let gravity pull the product to where I want it to go, and if it looks okay, stick it in the lamp. So now I'm curing it for the full cure, not just flash curing. And I will remove the sticky layer, because the gel has a sticky layer after it cures mostly. And now I will file those nail beds into shape. I get that hand file, and again, when you're thinking about doing your nail beds like this with filing them in, try to push against the wall, not push down against the nail itself, because you don't want it to dig in. But these, I went for a smaller, thinner file, which kind of just makes it a bit easier to get into where I want to get into with the nail bed area. This nail had bled over a bit further than I'd wanted it to go, so I'm just bringing those sides back in, narrowing it down a little bit. This nail especially, it was a bit of a disaster, so I will just use my e-file and a very narrow e-file bit to taper in those sides. As you can see there, and I'm also again, I'm pushing against the wall, not down onto the nail itself. Don't want to dig into the nail, you just want to file the wall of the nail bed area. Once I've done enough with the e-file, I will refine with my hand file, as you can see. And I keep stopping and looking at the other nails to make sure that they all look similar. Same again with the index finger, just using my e-file to make it a bit quicker, and then refining with my hand file. I know the filing's not the most exciting part, but people do like to know how it's done, so I showed you how it's done. So remove the dust with a dusty brush, and then a lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol, and wipe them over to make sure we get off the rest of the dust. And now I will be going in with this jelly polish. Well, it's not a polish, it's a builder gel. So this is a jelly builder in a bottle gel. I'll say that 5 times fast. So the bottle that you'll see is actually a tester bottle, because I was testing these out before Louise McGuinness brought them out for sure. So you will get these in the blue bottles with the gold lids, you know, but the bottle you see there, it's just a tester bottle, because I was trialing them out for her when she was thinking of bringing them out. But anyway, regardless. So I applied a thin layer of that builder in a bottle jelly yellow, and without curing it, I will apply pieces of glitter, caviar, and some gold leaf. And once I've got all of those bits and bobs onto the nail, I will flash cure it to hold them in place. So I'm happy with that. Oh no, I'm still putting on some more. Apparently I wanted some more. Bit more gold leaf on there. There we go. So I'll flash cure that, and then I will use the builder in a bottle yellow again to encapsulate everything. These builder in a bottle jellies are so cool, because you can build the whole nail in this jelly yellow if you wanted to. You don't have to cap these at all, which is awesome. So once I've encapsulated all of those and I'm happy with it, I will flash cure it to hold it in place. I'm just giving you a little side look and overview of what the nail looks like before I file it in. So you can see there's not going to be too much filing to do, which is awesome. And gel files really easily as well, so that makes life a lot easier. I didn't feel that I had built it high enough, so I'm just adding a bit more. As you saw from the side profile, there was a bit of a dip, so I'm just filling in that dip, flash curing that in place. And now we'll move on to the ring finger. Similar process, add a thin layer of the yellow builder jelly builder in a bottle. And this time I'm using these little petal pieces. Some people call them rice petal glitters. I'm not sure what they're actually called, but they look like little petals, little ovals. So I'm just using those and putting them on in the shape of petals, sort of little, to act like flowers. And I'll add some little caviar beads, little gold ones, to act as the centre of the flowers, and then I will flash cure that to hold those in place. There we go. Onto the middle finger, same process again, thin layer of the jelly yellow, and I'm doing the index finger at the same time, which is what I should have been doing in the first place. Would have made life a lot easier. Less flash curing then. So get the little rice petal pieces on, and whatever glitter or what did I use? Yeah, gold leaf and little glitter circles, little glitter dots. Whatever I'm fancy putting on, we'll put them all on, and then I'll flash cure the nails at the same time to save on time. I mean, 10 seconds isn't a lot of time to be saving on really, but when you think about it, if you flash cure all the nails you have, it's just under a minute you're saving, I suppose. So I'm using these little caviar beads to outline the extended nail bed area. They're so fiddly, those caviar beads, but they do look very cute when they're on. So I use as many as it takes to outline all of it, and on the index finger I will be using some of those glitter dots that I was talking about that I used on the little finger. All different sizes, I'll be adding those on. Some of the gold leaf, I'll also be applying that as well, and some of the little caviar beads I'll be applying to in a moment, if I remember rightly. So I'm just finishing putting the gold leaf where I want it, and now I'm putting the caviar beads on just randomly here and there with the tiny little gold caviar beads. And then once I'm happy with that, then I will flash cure those nails. Oh, I'm adding some more caviar beads to that middle finger, making a little necklace out of them. Looks like a semicircle shape from edge to edge of the nail on the very free edge tip. Which, yeah, I felt that the end of that nail looked a bit too empty, so yeah, that's why I added that. So flash cure those, and then I will encapsulate them with this builder in a bottle yellow jelly stuff. It's awesome. I mean, there's all different colours. There's pink, there's purple, there's green, there's yellow. Obviously you can see the yellow. I've got a purple one, and I've also got some pastel ones that I plan on making some videos with. I don't play with gel as much as I used to, I will say, but it's nice to play with it every now and again. I do enjoy playing with gel. And these builders in a bottle, they do make it easy, because you can just use the brush from the bottle and just off you go. No need for a separate brush. I'm turning that hand upside down to get the gravity to pull the gel away from the sidewalls and into the apex area. Well, it's not really an apex at the free edge of the nail, but you know what I mean. It draws, it makes the sides thinner if you turn it upside down and let gravity pull the product towards the middle of the nail. Same again on this one, encapsulate everything in that gorgeous yellow jelly builder in a bottle. It's a lot of fun playing with this stuff. Same again, upside down. See if I need to add any more, and if I do, I do. And then flash cure it in place because we don't want it to move. Last nail to encapsulate is the index finger. Grab a decent bead out of the bottle onto the brush and apply that to the nail. And if I need to go in and get any more, I do. And you can see the motions I'm doing with my brush to get the gel where I want it to go. You try and keep contact with the gel as much as possible to avoid bubbles. It was a bit low on the side there, so you can see I'm just adding a little bit on the side there, checking the nail from all angles, and when I'm happy I'll give the whole hand a cure for 60 seconds. And now it's time to remove the tacky layer and we can file these bad boys into shape. This is where we will reveal those smile hands. It's not as much of a dramatic reveal with these because it's a jelly see-through colour on the nail, but it's still a reveal. So bring in the sidewall, shape those up first thing, and the free edge. Not too much to do. Doesn't take too long because I didn't really lose the shape much on these, which is good. Holding the hands upside down really helps with that. And then I will go over the body of the nail. As you can see, sidewalls first, this other side wall, and then I'll go around the cuticle area, and then I will go down the body of the nail, contouring as I go. We don't want any flat parts. As you'll see, I start off with my hand file, but I do switch to my e-file, but that is only because my fingers were hurting, and so it's easier for me to use my e-file than it is for me to hand file. I was really struggling with my hands at this point, so I thought, you know what, and you don't really need an e-file on gel, you know, it can all be done with a hand file if your hands can cope with it. At this point my hands were really struggling, so I decided to switch to my e-file just to take the strain off my fingers and my hands. But you can see I'm not taking off much product at all. I've got my e-file on quite low. Not a huge amount coming off there. I pull downwards with my e-file and try and contour the nail as I go. Even out the surface, make it nice and rounded and curved and contoured and looking good. I look at the nail from all angles. Once I've got the majority of it done, I'll switch to a softer e-file bit. This bit was the extra fine, the yellow with the yellow tag on it, and then I'll switch to one that acts more like a nail file. It's more like a sanding band type of, it's a diamond bit, so I will use that to smooth out the rest of the nail rather than using my hand file to finish file. I'm using this bit to finish file, as it were, just to save my wee fingers from hurting. And you can see how I'm using this bit, just smoothing out, making sure the surface is nice and contoured, just buff it out with a buffer just to make sure it's all nice and smooth and we don't have any deep lines or ridges. Well, I needed to file that free edge a little bit more, so in with the hand file to do that, and then back with my buffing file and go over the entire nail. Make sure the cuticle area is nice and neat and flush. Again, in with the buffer on the next nail. Just make sure it's nice and smooth, ready for top coat. Again, same on the other two nails. They didn't really need much, those two though, so I'd done most of the work on those ones. Oh, apparently I needed to do a bit more filing on that little finger. And back in with my buffing file. Dust it all off. And then I can get my lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol, because it's time to top it off and keep it tough. Oh yeah. We are now coming to the end of the video, so I'd like to say thank you for coming to my channel and watching my video. If you have not already done so, please go ahead and subscribe. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to click that like button, and if you would like to leave me a comment, please do so. I'm happy to talk to you guys. So as you can see, I will be top coating now. I've left a bit of footage at the end and some photos for you to see of the finished nails, but apart from that, that is all I have for you this time, peeps. So take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.
Did you play your part? Hand to